Now, Dr. Lal Path Labs is in news for numbers and also the fact that they've made a sizable acquisition of a of Suburban Diagnostics. They're trying to increase their reach. So let's connect with the management to understand that how much of the COVID business non-COVID business has normalized, and where do they see the impact of COVID business, which naturally has declined now, really settling on the aggregate picture. Bharath Uppiliappan joins us, CEO with Dr. Lal Path Labs. Bharath, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Now, no one is surprised that the COVID revenue is down 75%. Everybody is happy that that revenue is down. But how will the non-COVID uptick and the COVID decline balance things now for Dr. Lal?
Good morning, and it's good to be back on your show today, and I hope you and your viewers are all keeping well and fine. First of all, we announced the numbers yesterday. It was about 498 crores, which is a 15.4% growth on a YOY basis. In this, the non-COVID revenues grew at 34%, and obviously the COVID volumes and the value declined significantly. The good news is that we served 6.9 million patients, which is a very good number for us, and really fueled by the non-COVID revenues. The way we look at it is that we are always focused on the non-COVID revenues because we knew there was a bread and butter. And if you go back about from April of last year, we kept on saying that we will focus on non-COVID revenues, building that momentum back while serving the country on the COVID pandemic, which we are all going through. So in effect, that is what is really playing up. We saw a 16% sequential growth vis-a-vis the last quarter on the non-COVID revenues. And we believe that this can go further up. Some of the enabling contributors to this whole growth, number one was our SwasthFit contribution grew to about 18% now. And also the high-end testing, which we had invested significantly over the last 1.5 to 2 years, especially in the area of genomics, is now paying off. And that division is really growing at a very rapid pace and getting wide acceptance. So overall, when we look at this picture, while the COVID revenue is a short-term, it's a service to the country opportunity, the real business for us is the non-COVID segments, which includes diagnostics, which includes some preventive care, which includes high-end surgical care, etc., and providing support to all those segments, which is what we have been focused on, which is what we continue to build on for the times to come as well.
I understand that. That's a permanent line of business which you're building up now. I want to understand the thought behind Suburban acquisition, because if I look at what ThyroCare has done, they've gone and merged with PharmEasy, because then you are bringing a technology-based platform with an aggregator. Right. Are you following a different strategy where you said, look, I will not join hands with an aggregator, but I would continue to acquire perhaps strong and regional players to increase my market share? Is this a conscious model which you now plan to pursue?
So if you go back in time, we always said there are two strategic priorities for us. Number one revolves around strengthening our presence in South and West. And we had said that we will continue to build it organically and also put behind meaningful acquisitions to build real scale. So this is one of our stated objectives for quite some time now. And the second revolves around technological interventions to get more patient-friendly in the front end to be in this digital age. In line with the first strategy of building our South and West presence, what we have done now is to acquire a very strong brand in Maharashtra state, which also has a potential to go much wider, to be able to really establish a footprint. West region, which was contributing to about 10% of our revenues, will now contribute about 24% of our revenues, taking us a step further in establishing ourselves as a national player. So there are two priorities we have, one on the technology front, and second is on building our South and West operations, which is what we've always been focused on. And the Suburban acquisition and the partnership is in line with that. So we do really see a lot of synergy coming through from the acquisition of Suburban in establishing our presence in the West region of India.
Okay. So will Suburban be renamed? Will you change the franchise, or it will be owned by Dr. Lal? It will be managed by you, but the brand remains intact?
Yes. Our current thought process is to say that Suburban has a very strong equity in western part of the country. We will operate it like a subsidiary with management guidance by us, and it is already run by a professional team. So the brand name of Suburban continues, and we'll continue to build on that, while Dr. Lal Path Lab will also pursue its opportunities in the marketplace. If you go back and look at the diagnostic industry, it's a very large industry. It's a very unorganized industry. So we do see a lot of scope for multiple propositions to play out. And that is what really is at play over here. So Suburban is a very synergistic acquisition for us, a very synergistic partnership for us to be able to build a presence in a geography which was traditionally weak for us. With this, we now are in a very good platform to scale up the business further in the west of the country.
Sure. Bharat, that's exactly what I wanted to talk about further. Is that going to be the conscious and only strategy to grow, to try and acquire more and more meaty businesses?
We have it on the growth side, from a geography presence side, we are pursuing two opportunities. One is an organic and second is an inorganic opportunity, both simultaneously. So last quarter, we announced that our Bangalore reference lab has gone on stream and will slowly start to build up scale. We have got very encouraging response to Bangalore reference lab. Mumbai reference lab of Dr. Lal Path Lab is also under construction, and we hope to see it coming online in the near future. So on the organic side as well, we'll continue to grow and supplement it and build, this revenue stream for us through acquisitions as well. So there is no either or, it is an and strategy of growing organically as well as inorganically in the marketplace, because really the market is so big that no one player, no one single brand can really, get to a scale which is what India requires.
So in that lieu, Bharat, that you're almost getting a war chest ready for acquisitions, and not just acquisitions but organic growth opportunities as well. Just wanted to understand, what is the status of cash levels on your books? Are you looking at a further fundraise? And of course, the debt levels as well on your books right now.
Right. So like you mentioned, we are a very cash-rich company. We have about 1,100 crores of cash with us, and we have no debt on our books. So this deal will be funded through our cash reserves completely, and no debt will be acquired for this deal. This allows us an opportunity to further build up monies for the future acquisitions, and also, if required, take on debt at a later date if required. So currently, this Suburban transaction is being funded through internal accruals and all cash.
Hi, good morning. It's Nantara. So you've made it quite clear that Suburban is to basically build your presence in the western part of the country and ride on a big brand, maybe even keeping the brand name intact. But just seeing what's happening in the larger ecosystem, and something Nikunj also touched upon, you have Metropolis just buying out high tech. You've had that big Thyrocare Farm Easy deal as well. Can I ask you that what are your plans when it comes to having a proper platform with network effect? Are you going to do it completely organically? Are you looking at acquisitions in the startup ecosystem to jump ahead?
Right. So like I said in the beginning, there are two key strategic priorities we have. One is to grow the business through geographic presence, which is both a combination of organic and inorganic on-ground presence. We're also significantly investing in our digital capabilities to build an operation on the diagnostic side, which is obviously industry leading, but is also benchmark to the best in class in the what you would call the entire digital ecosystem. So that effort is underway, and there is no let up on that count. So we are pursuing actually geographic expansion strategy and getting our business to be more digitally enabled on an end-to-end basis. So both the efforts continue at the same time, and there is no let up on either of those. As far as investment in startup is concerned, that is a matter which we will consider at an appropriate time to further.
I think we had lost the connection with you, but basically you were saying that you're going to do this um, organically, build a platform with network effects, because competition is also rising in diagnostics, and it has been a space with a lot of M&A activity.
We continue to partner with aggregators, with other digital ecosystem players to be able to build a service offering. So that is an integral part of our strategy. There is no change in that. And we continue to invest behind our own technology to be able to do that. So yes, a large portion of our current efforts is to build the service delivery mechanism organically, but we are not averse to inorganic opportunities as well.
Sounds like there could be more news and updates coming in the weeks to come if one reads between the lines. With that, we're completely out of time. Thank you so much for joining us today live on The Market.
Thank you, Nanda.